Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. The sun's shining. We've had really crappy weather for pretty much all of March up to this point. Recording this on the 6th of March, so it's been less than a week, let's be honest. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous day today. And yeah, so it's my day off. Not that that's any excuse, because it doesn't take much for me to feel like having a drink. So we're going over to Polly's Brew, and this is the Souvenirs IPA, which, by the way, I absolutely love the photography on this one. I'm not too sure how well that's picking up on camera. Hopefully with natural light coming through, it should be nicely presented, but of course quality of the camera might be letting it down. But yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous photo of a sort of macro shot of a selection of beads, which I'd imagine are souvenirs from somewhere. But I just love the colour scheme behind, and I like the sort of tone, and I'm not sure if there's a filter on there, but it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Just the clarity of the photo, and it just makes for an absolutely gorgeous backdrop. I just love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, hopefully I could preserve that label, because that's just some great photography. Who actually is responsible for that? I'm not too sure. Doesn't say. I'll have to look into that, because I want to see more of that photography. I'm getting a little bit carried away, aren't I, with that? Yeah, I've got greasy hair. I've been busy today. Shock horror. I say that, I'm very rarely busy. So yeah, this is the Souvenirs IPA, brewed with Citra, Equinox and Eldorado. Yeast is London Ale Free, and this is clocking in at 6.8% ABV in a 44ml can. And yeah, best before is 9th of May 2020, and this was canned on the 9th of December 2019. So it's not exactly, you know, uber fresh, but I've found a lot, especially when it comes to canned beer of this caliber. The hops tend to stick around really nicely. So yeah, my good friend Craig from Kent Beer Reviews has reviewed this one. It's been a while since I've had a Polly's Brew on the channel. Picked this up from Northern Beer Temple in Wigan, and yeah, every time I've picked up a Polly's Brew beer, I've just enjoyed it on the train home from Manchester. So let's give this a pour. But yeah, I'm just entranced by the artwork. I absolutely love it. I know it's just a simple photograph, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's what drew me to the beer, to be honest. So beer in a glass then. It's got sort of like a slight pale yellow look to it. Almost, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of a dulled egg yolk, almost, if that's a bit of a strange one, but that's what it reminds me of. But yeah, haze for days. It's got that slight chicken stock look to it. Nice sort of one finger's worth of a creamy head. So let's see what we get on the nose. And to me, it's got like a really nice slight West Coast aroma. If I remember correctly from watching Craig's review, because I think he had Untapped up on the screen, I think this is sort of like a merging of the styles of a West Coast and an East Coast IPA. And you definitely get that on the nose. Yeah, you get resiny, citrusy, sticky sweet malt characters. But then there's that sort of like tropical like sweetness that you do get a lot as well. But it's not too in your face. It's a really nice balance of the two sort of styles. That's that like classic Ramptree fruit pastel aroma, which I've not had for absolutely ages, and I love that aroma. Nice sweetness, resiny, stickiness to it. It's got real stickiness. Anyway, it's looking fantastic. It's smelling fantastic. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, folks. As an early smash the bottom of the glass there. Very, very gentle carbonation, which adds a sort of like creaminess to the beer. That being said, it's not like a you know, a gloopy sort of beer of this style. It reminds me of like the texture of milk. So it's not thin, but it's not thick. Nice gentle oiliness that's left on your palate, coats the inside of your mouth. There's a West Coast bitterness on the back end. I'm getting a sort of like prickly fruitiness to it. There's an intriguing character about this beer that I just cannot put my finger on. It's a fruit that I've had before, but I just can't for the life of me think of what it is. So let's see what else I can pick up from it. There's a very slight mango character. There's a big grapefruit juice bitterness to it. It's got a very slight savoury character. So it's got that dankness that you would expect. And again, you don't really tend to find beers that look like this having that dank characteristic. I remember when these beers were, when the first like wave of these sort of New England Vermont style IPAs were being brewed here in Europe, because of the big buzz from the breweries in America, and a lot of them were like really like dense, oniony, garlicky. This has that slightly, but there's just the right amount of sweetness in there and a citrus bite. So it's not just another hazy IPA. It's got a real unique, intriguing character. And again, I just cannot put my finger on it. And I think it's those two sort of styles. And if I've completely ill remembered the concept of this beer, then on the flavour alone, you get the West Coast elements, those classic bitter, resiny, sweet, like slight caramel characters, but then you get a real brightness and vibrancy from the East Coast style that we're all, very much familiar to. And it's nice and sticky as well. I like that a lot. And yeah, considering we're in the first week of March and this was brewed in just before or just around mid-December, it's still got a real freshness to it. And yeah, I really, really like that. It's intriguing. Definitely intriguing. And it's another high quality beer from Polly's Brew Co, as you would expect. So in terms of a rating then on Souvenirs, I'm going to give that one an 8.5 out of 10. I really, really like that. That's a really damn tasty beer. The only thing that I would say is working against it is there's an ever-growing aftertaste, which I've had quite a few times before. And to put it into words, what that aftertaste is, words fail me, but I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, 8.5 out of 10. It's still beer not to be grumbled at. And if you still see cans of this, then definitely pick it up. I mean, again, just look at that artwork. I absolutely love that. And I need to find out who the photographer is, whether it's been commissioned or submitted by someone. Yeah, there's dust on my desk. Or whether they've done it in-house, because I just love it. I just love the use of colours in the actual beads themselves, and then the colour scheme of the background, and then just the feel and vibe of the photo. I love photographic labels. I think it's a really intriguing way to house a can of beer. Anyway, so if you've tried this one, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. I talk utter bollocks sometimes. And yeah, are you a fan of Polly's Brew? What's some of your favourite beers? I've got another one that I picked up around the same time. Well, it was at the same time in the fridge, and I'm looking forward to it and getting some more Polly's Brew on the channel, which I seriously do need to get a lot more on the channel. That wasn't a proper English sentence, but oh well. So go check out Polly's Brew down below, and yeah, all your comments and feedback and recommendations and suggestions are always welcome. Anyway, I'm going to go outside and get a really twatty thumbnail on the grass. See you guys later.